Yo, what's up, guys? It's Raymond. I'm going to be doing something a little more different for you guys. As a data analyst, I felt like it was I kind of had some responsibility to kind of explain this to a lot of the people that really don't understand data or that don't do data analysis on a daily basis. So the main purpose of data analysis is really just to find a meaning in data so that, just the derived knowledge, can be used to make informed decisions. And it was interesting today because Behavior, the game developers of Dead by Daylight, came out with an interesting statistic, the before and after stats on Decisive Strike. They wanted to see whether the nerf, what we want to call the thing that made the perk less powerful, if you want to say, if we could even say that, if it was the right call. And they came out with, again, like I said, before and after statistics, and I felt like people on the forums just weren't understanding how a data analyst will interpret this. So right off the bat, I want to say that anecdotally, I've been getting tunneled like 24/7. Like, killers are just not respecting the post hook survivor, and they're just tunneling until they die because they know from their own experience as well as mine, a lot of survivors stopped using Decisive Strike. And I want to break it down for you guys in terms of how this statistic could be misleading to the average person. So before, we're going to look at the usage, 27%. That means that, let's say there were 100 loadouts, right? And 27% used it. That means 27 people used Decisive Strike. And out of the 27 people, 49 escaped. So 50%, probably like 13 people. So 13 out of 100 people, assuming that all the loadouts were 100, was 13%. And I might be going a little too fast for you guys, but I'm going to break it down here. So one thing I wanted to show you guys for sure, though, was the before and after the usage. So a lot of people look at this and they say, oh, well, Ramon, they only dropped 11%. And I'm like, well, you're 25% right in that calculation. So when we look at the difference, when it's talking about 27% and it's talking about out of all the loadouts, we're talking percentage point. That's a percentage point that they're calculating. So when we look at an 11% drop, that's an 11% percentage point drop. That's not relative. Relative change is the y. It's the y2 minus y1 divided by y1, meaning, and I'll show you that statistic right now, the actual percentage of it. So the before, 27% usage. After, 11 percentage point decrease to 16%. The difference was, it should be negative 11, but we're talking relative change, so it doesn't really matter. So the relative change, after we did the 16 minus 27, the 11 divided by 27, it turned out to be a 40% decrease, relative change decrease of people using Decisive Strike in their loadout. That is crazy. Over half the people that use DS, like not over half, just under half, they took that out of their loadout, and that's why people are getting tunneled. They're not using DS, and killers know that. And that's quite unfortunate because I don't know how Behavior is interpreting this, but I know a lot of people on the forums, a lot of people on the website, they're basically saying, "Oh, well, it wasn't even that much. It was minimal," And it's kind of unfortunate because the game that was played like 3 weeks ago was, yeah, you might get hit off hook, but they won't pick you up. They don't want to eat the Decisive Strike because it could delay the game, and especially in a strategy game when the survivors have an advantage, it just becomes very detrimental for the killer. And not only that, that's just the usage. That's just the usage. People just putting that in their loadout. That's if you hit your Decisive. How many people actually hit it and escape? So let's check this out. So here I made a little chart. It's going to give me an auto calculation. I manipulated it myself, so it'll actually calculate in real time. So all the loadouts, I put an arbitrary number. I put 1.5 million. The usage is again, guys, this is the before. The usage was 27%. Let's put in the 27 because I formatted the cell to calculate in percentage, and I had it calculate to the total. That means arbitrarily, like theoretically, if 1.5 million people's loadouts were calculated and 27% had DS, that's only a little bit over 400,000. And now the escape, the 49% of the 27% escaped with DS in their loadout. Guys, that's a little bit over 10%. Here, let's do it. Let's do it. Equals that divided by that. Guys, that's 13%. 13%. Now let's go to the after. Remember, we're just saying 1.5 as an arbitrary number. Let's put it in 16% usage. Boy, 240,000 and 49% of people escape. Guys, man. What is that? What is that? What's the percentage divided by 1.5 mil? Oh my God, 7%? That's crazy. 8% if you round it up, I guess. I mean, a lot of people were looking at the escape percentages and they were kind of associating it together. Like, oh, well, statistically, the escape percentage doesn't change. Well, yeah, that's true. But like, what about the usage? Escape is a percentage of the percentage point, you know? And it's really unfortunate to see a lot of killer mains try to justify the Decisive Strike Nerf by arguing that it's 11% decrease, when in fact that's an 11 percentage point decrease, but a 40.7% relative change in terms of a decrease. And that's where data could be misunderstood, not necessarily misleading. And I was just upset that behavior didn't come out and give the actual number, you know, on this post of what they calculated this. Like, what were the total number of loadouts, you know? So someone like me could do the calculation. And I don't know how behavior interprets this data, but I would hope that someone, an esports analyst, looks at this and gives them the information to say, hey, look, man, you guys had a significant decrease, relative change on the usage. I feel like for survivor mains like myself, it's made this game a little more unenjoyable. Granted, I could still play this game A-okay, no problem. I mean, Decisive Strike still works, but obviously not. It's not what it used to be. But that's the thing with esports. That's why you can't ever be number one for too long, because the meta always changes, you know? And I just kind of hope, again, that behavior looks at this data, maybe hires esports analysts to give them their, you know, professional opinion. Maybe if you could tag them in this, maybe if this ever gets to them, we could kind of show them the real detriment of the DS Nerf. Thanks, guys. That's going to do it today, but take care. Have a good one.